What's up and welcome back, and we are getting started. Today is assembly day. As I said in the last video, I still have all the parts out here, but we're gonna get to work. So we have a lot of work to do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the transmission. You guys know that I said in the last video that we have to take this off. We have to change it out with that. I have to change the shift linkage stuff. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's do this. Okay, I'm sure some of you noticed that I have some zip ties on here and this piece sticking out. I still have fluid in here. One of the good things that I figured out thanks to RX-7 Mike, thanks homie, for this plug, this is a part of a drive shaft cut off that when I do, because I do so many like transmissions, clutch jobs, engine jobs, that type of stuff, when I have to take it out, I don't wanna have to drain all the fluid, have to put new fluid in. Anybody who knows me knows I hate putting in fluid into the transmission because it's just a pain in the butt having to pump. I need to get an electric one, I know. But anyway, I hate doing that. So this is a plug made out of an old drive shaft that I kind of zip tie on there, and it makes it where it keeps the fluid in. So I need to cut those off to be able to get off that tail housing. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so now you guys can see I have this off, and I have this comes all the way out here. I have the new one from ISR that actually goes in place here, and it moves it way farther forward. As you guys can see, it has these little cups on the inside, will actually sit on these cups here. So we just have to get this off. So one thing that I do is I'll take a pry bar and I'll pry against it and pry this off, and then kind of shift it out of the way, and that'll be ready to go. It's really not that difficult. And then as this goes on here, you can see that there is two holes here that hold it together. That is for these Allens. I put a little bit of Loctite when I tighten them down. And then you have this bolt here, which is the long one that goes through just like this one, but it'll be up here for the shifter linkage. So I'm gonna take this off now, kind of clean this up, and I will show you what's going on. Okay, as you can see, I kind of have it bent off like that. Make sure that these caps don't come off. There's needle bearings inside, and if you lose those or they come apart, it's all bad. So anyway, so now here's the shifter part. I keep this because you never know. I might go back to a VQ. Ha, just playing, just kidding. Anyway, I would never again. Anyway, so I'm gonna keep that there. I don't need it. So yeah, now I just need to clean this up, and then I will be able to put these on here, and you can see these will kind of fit on there like that. So I'm gonna clean it up, put it on, put it together, and then I'll show you what the final product looked like. Okay, and so there you go. You can see I have it all together. Really simple. It just bolts straight to the shifter linkage now because we don't need the bar that's on here anymore. So now the next piece will be this. And as this goes on here, you can see how it kind of will fit right in the middle there. Okay, now that I have this on, now it's time to put on the tail shaft housing. First things first, you want to make sure that, do you see where this groove is? It's on the same. You want the orientation set exactly the same as the factory one. Next, you'll see I have the bolts laid out. There's these spacers that will sit on here and keep this away, and then these long bolts are for these two right here. And then I have the smaller ones that go into the side right here, through here. And then these three. These three hold the gold plate underneath to the black plate. So you install that first, and then you install this whole unit on here. Again, like I said, I like using blue Loctite. Just make sure that it doesn't come off, but if you ever have to take it off, it's not welded on there. So I'm gonna put this together right now, and then I will put it on here and you'll see what the final product for the transmission looks like. Okay, now you can see it's on there, ready to go. And if you look through, when you put this shift linkage up, it should meet exactly in there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's exact. So there you go. That's a little bit easier for you to see. So now the shifter part is done. I will put the mount on the bottom after we have it all in the car. It'll make it easier because it goes from underneath and bolts into it. So then I can kind of shift it around, shift the plate around, and make the trans sit straight in the car. So that's pretty much it as far as it goes with the transmission stuff. I would have to grind down this part like I mentioned in the last video, but it's already ground down, so I don't really have much more to do. This throwout bearing, I was going to change it, but it's so new. I mean, it literally only has like 5,000 miles on it that there's no noise, there's no issue. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. So you can see even the inside of the bell housing is all super clean. So I'm gonna leave that there, and next we need to put the engine together. I need to get it off of here and then do a couple things to get it ready for that. So I'm gonna have to pull out that pilot bearing that's in here that I noticed, because this isn't one for my transmission. Actually, I don't even know. I'm gonna measure that and see, because if I don't have to pull that out, if it works, I might actually just use that. So I know it came with the needle bearing one, but if this is in here already, I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out and I'll let you guys know. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention, because I've had two different LS's and Mike's LS that have been missing this, there is a big plug right here. This is on the driver's side, right by the engine mount. Check for this to make sure that there is a plug there. I think there is a coolant exchanger that comes off on the factory engines, and they remove it and then they don't tell you. And then you go to put coolant in it and it just pisses out the side. So I need to head to Chevy to get the cap for this right now. So this is gonna be on hold for just a second. I'm gonna go get that, put that in, and then we are gonna continue. I don't wanna forget about it. So yeah, so I just thought I'd tell you. All right, so I'm back. I got the plug on order. It's actually this plug. Let me show you guys. It's 116-11351. That is the coolant exchanger plug that goes on the driver's side here. For the LTs, it's actually on the passenger side, I believe, and it's towards the back, but it's the same plug. So if you guys have any reference needed for it, that is it right there. It's about 20 bucks from Chevy, not a big deal. But yeah, so I'm back and we're gonna get started on this as soon as we get done eating because I'm hungry. All right, so we just finished eating. Mike actually just left, but we just got off the phone too with our buddy Lamar with Prestige Metal Coatings, and he said he can actually ceramic coat these. So I just cleaned up the surface right here, and I think I'm gonna bring them to him tonight to get them ceramic coated. That'll help keep the temperatures down, and I don't have to mess with titanium wrap because I hate getting itchy, and so yeah, that'll be good. Mike has it on his, he really likes it, so I think it'll help keep the temperatures down. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to cut down the dipstick. The dipstick is a universal one, and I already trimmed the bottom of it, but this is a lot smaller than the factory one because the factory one goes in here. And speaking of in here, you actually have to remove this for this swap, and you have to get a little plug on here. I'll link the plug number on there. It's a little brass plug that you put super glue on and you press it in and it blocks it off, and then you don't ever have to worry about that ever again. But back to the dipstick. So I'm trying to figure out what the proper length is of this tube to screw into here and to have it go and read full. So I'm not quite sure with that yet, but I'm trying to do some research, and then once I figure it out, I will let you guys know. But yeah, so that's the project I'm working on right now. Rather do it now, have it all set up, so when I put it in the car, it's just in, locked in, and done. So I'm gonna keep going on this. Okay, so I got on the phone with Canton Racing, and they let me know kind of the capacity for this is a 6.5 quart shallow sump front sump pan for drift and road racing for you know, LS swap cars. And so pretty much what they said to figure out the level for the dipstick is I'm actually gonna put the sensor here to block this, but then I have to fill it up with 6.5 quarts, and then I'll put the dipstick tube in to where it says full, measure the length from there, cut it down, and then install it. So it's really not that bad. I was trying to do it without any fluid in it, but I guess the best way is to make sure that it's full with the 6.5 quarts, and then yeah, I'll just measure with the dipstick on the dipstick where it says full right there. Then yeah, that'll be that. All right, it's late. It's like 8:11. We are headed to Lamar's shop. We should be there, it says, by 9:15. Like I said, I'm getting the headers powder coated, so they're in the back there. You probably can't see them because it's pretty dark, but we're gonna head there. He's gonna shoot them tonight, and actually we're gonna be able to have them ready to install tomorrow for the rest of the video. So yeah, we're on the way. We made it out to Lamar's shop. Lamar Prestige Metal Coatings. Man, he's already putting me to work. I didn't bring new ones, so we got to get all this crap off of here. But we're gonna prep it and then shoot them and hopefully be able to take them home tonight. Whew, look at that. Now it's all smooth, about ready to be blown off and ceramic coated. While he's in there doing his thing, I'll show you guys a couple of the cars that are in here. Look at this thing, it's beautiful. All right, as you can see, they're done. They're cooling. It's late, it's time to go home. But this man finished them for me. Thank you, man. I appreciate it very much.
No problem.
Let them cool off, throw them in the Subi,
And we are out of here.
Okay, and as you can see, we're back. I got these headers Cerakoted last night. You guys saw I made that long trek out there. So shout out again to my dude Lamar for hooking me up. He really just went out of his way last second for me to get them done so that way I can continue on this project today and finish up the video today. So yeah, big shout out to him. If you guys need anything powder coated, Cerakoted, ceramic coated, he's the best. And I'll link his thing down below. It's Prestige Metal Coatings on Instagram. I'll have it in the description below. And then yeah, so he's out in Stockton. He's busy, so I don't know how well you guys are gonna be able to get an appointment with him, but check him out. So yeah, big shout out to him. I have these done. They're in, I forgot what he called it, but they're in this like flat black. It's gonna look really good in that white engine bay over there. Ugh, look at that. So yeah, so we're gonna continue with this project now that I got all the pieces done and everything that I need to start assembling and getting it in there. Real quick, before we start assembling, you can see I got the new plug. I just got back from Chevy. That part number that I gave you for this was the correct one. I put a little bit of the FIPG, like sealant stuff on it. It's not necessary, it does come with its own, but I did it for a little added protection. But yeah, before we start assembling and putting it in the car, I wanted to make sure that I got that in there and tight. So now we're done.